the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Mema obibia akwa babiem baye Nsem-Pii TV so. Kofi Tonto government spokesperson. Nene one Sammy Gyamfi the communication officer for NDC. Eko share good morning Ghana Jumadi so a regular host Randy Abi na hodie ensema eba efio eba ye one-on-one interview a Kofi Tonto ene Sammy Gyamfi ekoye no na Kofi Tonto government spokesperson na Sammy Gyamfi enso ye communication officer for NDC obia emfa ensema na abanba abanso a ana ne party ba abanmu a de ben na oye edeboa empuntunwuma ekoso Ghana memu ha na hona Sammy Gyamfi enko start enko kasa ono de opese one ne NDC amanyoko no ene ne boss is excellency the former president John Dramani Mahama ayo madwin say the attacks any insult and ebeko the governing party so sin ebeya December 7 general election no ebeto abama omone ne one ne NDC amanyoko no maba bam omo na aka say 2008 abra omo ba bam no de ntro ene insult ene eba bam 2012 msa ba bam omsa de ntro ene attacks insult ene sa ba bam in 2024 we the same action ana omosa apply the arene December 7 general election the Sammy Gyamfi go kasa o say Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia our party no NPP governing party no flag bearer useless and clueless in terms of govern economy no say Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia sorry o say oye economist na economist no hwede oma Ghana economy no aye Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia useless and clueless then somewhere if na no buy na Kofi Tonto si dabi Randy mentina oma Sammy Gyamfi small boy akrawe and the DM boss Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia atemsa na yenko te nkomaritwe anansema ekọ so good morning Ghana Jumadi so abana Randy Abi atena dwem na yenti Sammy Gyamfi nsem kakra na odito dwa no wi a na me de Kofi Tonto replan so a odema Sammy Gyamfi no.
What is happening today has got nothing to do with COVID or Russian-Ukraine war. And people like Kofi Tonto who speak for the government must begin to change that narrative, because when they speak like that, they insult the intelligence. I didn't say they insult the sensibilities of Ghanaians. You said exactly that, and I'm going to demonstrate that to you. Okay. What is happening only highlights the dishonesty, the insensitivity, and the cluelessness of the Bawumia-led economic management team. Simplicity. That is what is happening.
Demonstrate that.
Look, Doc, first of all, let's go back to what the NPP, especially Alhaji Bawumia, said in opposition about fuel prices. That should be the starting point for me, because you see, leaders are elected on the basis of the promises and the things they say when they are campaigning for power. And when they are elected, what they say on the basis of which they got elected must mean something. In my view, that forms or that becomes a social contract between them and the people, and they must live up to that. Else, what it means, if they do the opposite, they do the contrary, it means that they cannot be trusted. It means they are dishonest. I have shared a video with your producer. She can play it at any time, subject to your convenience.
A video about it?
A video of what Bawumia said in opposition at a time fuel prices went up by 9%. 9%. That was immediately before the 2016 elections.
Told us that. Quite disrespectful. That sit in trotro. You know, those who own cars can go and sit in trotro. He said that. And then Sammy said Vice President is clueless and useless. You see, Randy,
in managing the economy. I heard him say that.
It doesn't matter.
No, he said that. He said in managing the economy.
You see,
if you take that out, it means a completely different thing.
Yes, and useless in economic management?
That's how he was described.
Who described who as useless and all of that? My point is that we can criticize. As young people doing politics, let's find decent ways of criticizing our leaders. Sammy is fond of always using words like useless, empty, etc. I don't think it's necessary. You said a lot of things about President Kofi. You talk about the things we said about Mahama. What about the things you said about President Kofi? You called him a tie. So don't create the impression that we have all of a sudden forgotten the things you also said about President Kofi. To create the impression that somebody was attacking President Mahama. President Mahama was part of the people who attacked President Kofi. So what are you talking about? Now, Sammy, let's go to the substantive issue. Randy, I made a relative comment that where we came to meet, where we did pre-COVID, and then what happened post-COVID. I said that. And then I said that COVID definitely impacted the economy. But then when you asked me on the dollar, I gave you specific examples or causes of it. The first thing I said was the price moving from 200 million to 400 million. I'm sure you recall me saying that.
That's fewer products.
Yes. And then I said high exogenous cost of goods and services outside. If someone is going to import a phone, and a phone used to be $50 and it's now $100, it will make they will need more dollars to buy the same phone. I said that. Then I said speculations. Then I also gave you example of federal government increasing policy rate and causing investors to move money from emerging markets to advanced economies. I said that. And then I also said shut of the bond market. I said that. Those were the specifics that I gave you as the cause of the depreciation of the cedi. Please, am I lying?
Yeah.
Those were the specifics I said. I'm not saying that I didn't mention COVID as a general statement of the impacts we've had concerning the economy. I did. But then I was very quick in giving you the specifics when you asked me the cause of the cedi depreciation. I didn't say, in any case, I can even argue that COVID has a degree of impact on the dollar. I can make that argument, but because of time, I won't go there. But I was very specific. I said prices of petroleum products on the world market, high exogenous costs, speculations, Fed rate, and shut of capital bond market. Those were my specifics. So, Sammy, please, if you are listening to me, listen to me carefully. Yes, I did say COVID. Yes, I brought COVID in as part of the general argument that I was making. But because I wanted to be careful in what I was saying, I laid out specific causes. That's what I did. So if you want to debate the specific causes, if you want to say that they are not true, we can discuss it. I haven't sat here and said I didn't mention COVID. I haven't sat here and said COVID didn't have impact on the overall economy. But I was specific on the things that I said.
Right.
So please, let's be careful on those things. And then Sammy spoke about PIAC report and how monies have been misapplied when you read the PIAC report by us. Sammy, if you read the same PIAC report, it talks about how His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's government misapplied petroleum funds. Specific things they were supposed to do with the money and doing contrary, for example, capacity building, etc. 100 million towards capacity building. So we can find so many instances of misapplication of funds in the PIAC report relating to John Dramani Mahama. So it's a debate for us as a nation that, okay, if Petroleum Management Fund indicates specific usage of our funds, are we using it prudently? I'm sure both governments across board have had some misapplication in one way or the other. But to create the impression that somehow one government is the one who's offended the law and misapplied funds, it's untrue. Because I have the PIAC report on my phone. I can look for about 200-page report when they did a report on our revenues from 2010 to 2020. It says it. clearly all the things you did. It talks about all of it. Then Sammy talks about huge inflows. I won't even go there. He talks about energy levy, petroleum levy, all of that. Sammy, governments have placed levies on petroleum products across board. Please, am I lying? Is that not the case?
Yes.
President Mahama did it, and that's why when people called on him that please, we are going through hardships. Why are you putting taxes on petroleum products? That's why he said, go and sit in Trotro.
He said that?
Oh yeah, I have the story. Yeah, I can read the story to you. If you give me a second.
I hope it's not a headline.
No.
Okay.
Let him read.
President John Dramani Mahama has justified recent tax imposed on petroleum products. He says the measure, described by many as senseless and insensitive, especially because of world crude prices are at a 12-year low, was necessary, even better. The president was answering questions from journalists on a wide range of issues at the Flagstaff House on Tuesday, January 12, 2016. So he said that.
No, you have not shown me where he said that. Go and take Trotro.
Oh, okay. Let me read it to you.
You're opening a new story. I can see your phone from here.
No, I'm reading.
Why don't you read it from the story you were reading?
No. I'm because I took a screenshot of the first page of the story. So I'm opening the story so I can read this quote. Please. The imposition of tax of which story is
There
this?
was a headline in the portal.
Okay. Mahama advises sit in Trotro and pay less taxes. Kasapa FM online. If you own a car, it means you can pay a bit more taxes. ModernGhana.com. Toughen up. Mahama says over fuel price increase. Ghana Web. These are the stories.
So these are the headlines.
So which one are you reading that quote from it?
I'm reading from the Kasapa one.
Okay.
Yeah. It says the imposition of tax on petroleum products is hitting us who uses private vehicles. And so for most of us, if you are able to drive your own private vehicle to work and back, then that shows that you have an income that you can contribute a little bit more than the person who sits in Trotro. That's where he's saying that if you have a car.
No, we are not doing an interpretation.
No.
He said go and sit.
No,
so
I'm looking for the
that,
actual article to
Yes,
read,
I want to
because
see
I'm trying to speak and open the article at the same time.
Okay.
So if I'm done and Sammy is
Okay, so
then I can take
I'll
time
give you the
and
question.
give you
No problem.
the specific.
Yeah,
I'm
no
trying
problem.
to.
No problem. So you go on.
It's not a problem.
Yeah.
So the point that I'm making is this. Sammy, your argument that things have gotten worse from point A to point C or point D, and that makes a president clueless and empty, it's a non-starter. Because that argument can apply to almost every president, from the exchange rate to the prices of petroleum or diesel or fuel. Almost every president, including President Mahama. Because he took it from one point and ended it at a higher point. Even if it's 200%. That's a huge increment. So you cannot use that as the basis to call somebody empty.
So Kofi, what would you say to the person who says that when that 200% increment occurred, this is what Dr. Bawumia said. This is how he described it. This is what he promised. And on the basis of what has happened today, it is worse than what he criticized, and it is worse than the better he promised.
And I have told you that I'm not disputing the fact that things are a bit tougher now. If you look at even the nominal figure from the value we came to meet it and the current value, I'm not disputing it. I am saying that all these things ought to be put in a proper context. What did we do before certain global challenges.
And Bawumia was so appalled and disgusted that 9% increment meant that John Mahama was totally clueless, incompetent, and the word he used was that he was uncaring. And that he actually said, how wicked can Mahama be that at a time we are suffering, he will increase fuel prices by 9%.
Who will increase fuel prices?
John Mahama will increase fuel prices. He didn't talk about exchange rates or the factors that contribute to fuel prices. He didn't even talk about any exogenous factors, not even the international market price. But when he said the government had increased fuel prices by 9%, and that meant that John Mahama was uncaring, he was insensitive, he just bastardized the man. 9% increase. Now look, at the time he was speaking, the price of a gallon of diesel and petrol was hovering around 14 cedis. When it even went up in December, it went up to 3 cedis 59 pesos per liter, which translated into 16 cedis per gallon. That was way high in December. But for the greater part of 2016, when Bawumia was castigating Mahama, it was 14 cedis. Today, that liter which was going for 3 cedis 59 pesos at its peak under Mahama, that they called him names, insulted him, branded him as wicked, insensitive, uncaring, today is going for 15 cedis 1 pesos, and for diesel 15 cedis 25 pesos. That represents an increase of 320% in the price of petrol per liter, and an increment of 329% in the price of diesel per liter.